I was just up north talking to Eliezer Yudkowsky, and that's why this is so fresh on my mind. And one of the scenarios he laid out as something he thinks is maybe the most plausible way that AI would wipe out humanity is by producing some sort of, I don't know, virus that would be very transmissible and that would kill everyone. And presumably, um, this is the sort of development of AI technology that would facilitate an end like that, if that were something that was going to happen. And I'm not suggesting that this is a risk that you have to worry about with Manus AI, but I do wonder if there are any unique risks or risks in general to this modality of drug development.
So there definitely are. The biggest risk that I see with AI is bioterrorism, with AI enabling essentially bioterrorists, whether they're state actor terrorism or independent and so forth. Now, when you get to humanity impacting diseases,
Sorry, could I just interrupt for one moment and ask? So, your idea of the chief risk of AI is that some terrorist group or a state or whatever will use AI, even if AI is not super intelligent, to help create uh, damaging biologics.
yeah, think movie or TV series 12 Monkeys, right?
Yeah.
As an example, and that would be a terrorist instance, and um, and so an AI does increase a risk factor here, even with, and this is probably one of the most intense things I put work into in alignment, which is trying to align against this. Is one of the reasons why it's important that you know all players, not just you know OpenAI, Anthropic, Microsoft, Google, do safety and alignment stuff. But it's important. The reason why you should invest in it, like if you're Grok or XAI, other things, that's part of the reason why the investing in the safety and alignment and red teaming is all very important. Now, the first thing is that there's probably some number of tens of thousands of human beings today, could be 20, could be 200, that could create this kind of pandemic today if they were so inclined. Because it's,
What do you mean they could do it today?
well, there's ways to create biological um, biological pandemics that the larger the that like and I obviously don't go into a lot of depth in public in this because I don't want to give anyone any nutty people any ideas, but there's ways to create diseases that are far more dangerous than the diseases we saw today through um, you know current techniques of biological engineering. It
It's
is a
very frightening.
doable thing for a human being to do. The biggest thing AI does is it now moves that number from whatever tens of thousands to millions. If you have AIs that can say, "Oh, let me help you do this," you know, and so that creates a negative attack and that's the reason it's my highest risk factor, which is like, let's not have AIs help with that. Matter of fact, people frequently in this biological risk factor environment say the standard is, can a person Googling help figure it out? And I think that standard is actually, in fact, too weak, because I think we also want to be, from search indices and so forth, redacting information to make, crazy people using this for biological terrorism to make it harder to do. Because there will be there's 8 billion plus people. There are some very crazy people, a la the movie 12 Monkeys. Now, so you go, okay, that increases a surface vector. The problem is there's no way to reduce that surface vector. We're already in the risk factor today to zero. It does get increased some of AI, but the only way I know to protect it is AI, because AI can like I think we're going to get to a lot of monitoring of biological substances and so forth. Say, are there viruses spreading? By the way, There could be natural ones, not just man-made ones, that nature could stumble across something that would be very destructive. Um, and you go, okay, how do you detect it? How do you analyze it? How do you create a vaccine or an antidote quickly, etc.? All of that stuff, AI is the only thing that can do it. So I think AI is net positive. It's one of the reasons why I tend to be quote unquote an accelerationist about getting there, because getting to that point where you could have AI being on the defense column is part of what you do on this kind of existential risk side of it. Now, it's absolutely right. You know, I've also had the thought that one of the things that's entertaining about the Terminator movie is if you had a super intelligence robotic species that would say, let's get rid of this carbon biological species, you wouldn't go, I'm going to create robots with guns and plasma rifles. It's, I'm going to create diseases. Diseases affect biological things, doesn't affect me. That's what you do. And so you know, kind of minimize the surface of that. That would be an attack thing. Now, when it gets to Manus, Manus, you know, is, uh, you know, cancer, like a lot of things are described as disease. Cancer is not an infectious disease. The principal thing in these risk factors is infectious diseases. And yes, if you're dealing with things that have infection variants, you got to be very, very careful. And it's one of the things that's, you know, I've had friends of mine make arguments to me that we shouldn't do anything that requires high level biological safety labs because lab leaks and other kinds of equipment is just inevitable once you have a lot of that, and there's no way to get that to zero. And that's a, you know, that's a, uh, you have to have like lab leaks of things that are infectious is like one of the things that is like I think one of the biggest dangers for human race. Unfortunately, we have that without AI, and I think AI is ultimately the best defense to it.